Hi everybody, I'm Izzy. I'm the lead game designer here at the Game Makers Union at Toronto Metropolitan University, and today I am going to be interviewing the lovely founder of Maeve Fitzgerald. So good to see you, love. Are you ready to get into it today? I'm so excited. We're gonna have so much fun. All right, let's get into the catalyst. Be right into it. What is the first thing you thought about this morning?
Well, this morning, first, of course, I was so excited for this interview. It's such a fun thing to do. And after that, well, as usual, I like to pull out my phone and to take a look at Discord to see all the different things that people have been up to in Game Makers, any updates they have, any work that they put out overnight. Because so often I wake up and suddenly there's a gorgeous, bit of concept art, or there's a fantastic track from the sound team. It's so fun to wake up to every morning.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And what would you say you're the most excited about these days?
These days, honestly, it's just everything to do with Game Makers. I love to live off the passion of the numbers we have here and seeing their creation in progress and knowing that I have the privilege to help them put together a full game that properly showcases their talents.
I couldn't agree more. It's always such an amazing feeling. So, how did the GMU begin?
It began with, first, the two of us, as well as 19 other students in the video game prototyping and testing class were together. We made a video game called Incubate Galaxy, Taco You Rescue, which we were able to show off at the Tara Awards, which we won. Video game of the year, and level up, and it was so much fun that I was so sad that it was over. And so when it just so happened that I heard there was an opportunity to run a video game student group here at TMU, I just knew we got to do it again and bigger. And so here we are.
Amazing. And you did such a good job with the Incubate. It was such an amazing memory that I will always cherish. So that being said, what is your role in the studio?
Well, I am the director, so that means that my job is a little bit of everything. It's making sure that everyone has what they need in order to do what they do best. So whether that means making sure that we have the Catalyst booked for our regular meetings, or the Readable Gaming Hub for whenever we need those PCs for tutorials, or working with the Transmedia Zone to get our new office space. It means talking to sponsors about getting involved for our Winter Game Jam. It means talking to industry guests to bring them in to tell students how they can get into the industry. It means organizing the team needs meetings so that each department knows what's going on with the others, and everything in between.
Oh my gosh, and there's so much love that goes into managing all of that. I know you put so much love and heart into it. But what would you say made you fall in love with the idea of actually making a game?
For me, I've just always been a fan of creating in general. So whether it's the kid that meant baking or drawing, or when I was introduced to programming, being able to make simple things with that was always fun. But then with video games in particular, it's this union of art and design and interaction and code, the science behind it. There's just so much beauty in every aspect of the video game making process, and it's something that you can just enjoy for hours and hours and hours over and over again. So yeah, that's why video games are such a huge thing for me.
Wow, that's amazing. And what was the first game you ever made?
First game I made it comes from back when I was in grade 9 in high school. My high school had these sort of tech rotations where they'd send us to try out cooking or wood shop or programming. And it was in that programming section that about 2 weeks where we were taught to use this program called Scratch for the first time. And after we were introduced to the basics of block coding, we were told to make a game. Just make a game. And while a lot of students did like a little brick breaker or Pong or something along those lines, I thought, I've seen some of these like Pokemon fan games before. I'd like to try to make one. And so I did. Every free second I had for the full 2 weeks, I dedicated to making this game, and it was so much that it overwhelmed Scratch. It couldn't process it, and the game broke. But fortunately, I had shown the teacher my work about halfway through, and it was still working, so I got full marks.
What is the hardest part of game development?
So the hardest part is sort of the blessing and a curse in a way. The number of people we have at our studio. So with so many, we need to have very careful coordination between all the different departments. It's a lot trickier than back in the days of Incubate Galaxy, where we just have a couple people from departments that could just walk over to another, so we could have all of the game mechanics developers, being yourself, go talk to the art department, and everyone would be entirely on the same page. Here, departments can be over a dozen people in some cases. So having those lead meetings that we do every week is so important, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it'll be like having that whiteboard we discussed about, putting all of our final ideas for each department in one place that everyone can see them all. It's a little bit of an experiment as we go along, but I know it's going to be great.
It's definitely such an adjustment, especially with the amount of people that we have. I mean, we are one of the biggest student-run game studios in the world. It's such a huge group of people. So yeah, managing it certainly is a lot. But what would you say the team dynamic is like at the GMU?
Ooh. Well, while I do get to take a look at each of the departments, the team that I'm most familiar with, of course, is the execs team. So for that, I love just the diversity and skill we have. So no matter what I might need a hand with any particular day, you know, my role is so dynamic that there's all sorts of different times where things pop up, like, oh, we suddenly got the gaming hub. We need to run a tutorial in there. Okay, who's free? And then having people being able to say, I can run a log that tutorial. That's fantastic. The enthusiasm from the team, the reliability that we have, the number of people who just all want to see it succeed and all have their different voices and opinions, and that can help us make such a thought out experience for students.
No, and that's such an amazing thing to consider even overall for the GMU. But what would you say for you, your day in the life is like as the GMU founder?
Well, it varies a lot day to day, but as I mentioned, it starts up with getting out and just thinking about GMU and what the current progress is with the different departments, if anyone's made anything new and cool, and then moving on to maybe I have some meetings that day, whether it's with sponsors or whether it's with industry guests, running through what it'll be like when they come to talk to students about what they do. Sometimes it's securing new spaces, new events, and opportunities for our students. Every day is something new, and it's a lot of making it up as we go along, but so far so good.
Amazing. And it's so cool that you put so much into your day and you're so productive with such a dynamic role that you have. But what would you say has been the most rewarding part of running a student-led game studio so far?
The fact for me that everyone who is here because they want to be. This isn't a course. We don't offer any credits. We all offer, we're not able to pay our student members because we are a student group, and yet people still show up. People still do the work. People are here because they want to learn. They want to experience working on a team of people from different backgrounds, different programs, majors. They're just here because they want to create. And I love that every single time that we have a meeting, every single time someone posts their new work on our Discord server. It's just this joy that I feel every single time, and it's a little addictive, to be honest.
Especially because you really feel that knowing of community, like you know that there are so many like-minded people and like-hearted people that feel that passion the same way that you do. I agree, it is a very addicting feeling. I feel the same way. Same way. Well, that being said, what is the most exciting thing that you're working on right now?
I'd say, aside from, the current club events and progress on our main game, I am very excited for our Winter Game Jam. Now, I'm not able to share too much about it yet, But we do have a few different partners that are going to be working with us to put together a fantastic weekend for students to come out and work in person in the incredible spaces we have at the university, making the game, making so many games in all the different teams. I wish I could tell you everything, but you'll just have to wait and see.
Well, there's so much that goes into that as well, but where would you say you find the most inspiration for making your games?
Well, for me personally, when I'm making maybe more of a personal project, I tend to think of the impact it'll have on the audience. So, for instance, with my designs for the game, I like cleaning by. The inspiration there is joy, a lot of learning. It's just about this sweet experience of exploration and self-discovery. With the other sort of work in progress, I have a working title, Tech Witch. It's about the experience of learning how to program. So that's sort of where it comes from for me, is the experience of player is what I like to write.
Amazing. So you really like to take that into consideration. And that on top of everything else that goes into creation, I mean, it is such a rewarding experience. But what do you do when you feel stuck?
Well, never hurts to take a break. Let me show you something over there that's a popular way for TMU students to take a break.
Now for a rapid fire section. What's the most important quality for a game designer?
Imagination.
What's your favorite game genre to design?
Puzzle.
Any favorite game-related events and activities in Toronto?
The Level Up Students Games Conference.
How do you stay motivated even when it gets tough?
Student work, student inspiration and passion.
What's your favorite thing about the game design process?
Watching it evolve from an idea, a pitch, to something full.
If you could go back in time and give a rookie Maeve advice about game development, what would it be?
Gantt charts.
What game are you playing right now?
Sparks.
Your favorite thing about being a student founder?
The fact that we're doing something that, as far as I can tell, has never happened before.
If GMU could collaborate with any studio, who would it be?
Tough fun, but I think Ubisoft would be fun.
All right, and now for your final question. What's next in the process for GMU?
Well, we're coming up on our first playable demo. It's going to be very simple, but I am so excited. We are making just a little peek for you. We're making a fantasy adventure sort of combat game, and just stay tuned for more information on that. Maybe even some game trailers. We'll see.
All right, and that's a wrap. Maeve, thank you so much for such an amazing interview. This has been such an amazing look at the Game Makers Union and all of the experiences and opportunities that we provide to all of our fellow students. Thank you so much.
It's why I started JNU in the first place.
Couldn't agree more. Oh my gosh, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll definitely see you guys soon. Bye!